Okay, so we're talking about how to make a pizza here in the McCormick Housemaster's apartment. The first thing you'll do is you'll get a little pat of dough from me, and we'll come over on this side and we'll roll it out. And the most important thing about rolling out the dough is to make sure that it doesn't stick to the board. And so what we first do is we might just put a little bit of flour on it and kind of rub on it, a little flour on the other side. And then we start by patting it out, making a little circle. And after it's kind of started as a circle, we take one of the rolling pins and just begin to roll it out. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. And in fact, if it looks a little bit like Ohio, that's okay. Again, the important thing is to make sure that it doesn't stick to the board. So after you rolled it out a little bit, putting some flour on the pizza dough is a good thing. So it doesn't take too long to get kind of large enough as you need it. So the next thing we do is we just put this on a tray, which is behind us. And the dough is pretty sturdy, so don't worry too much about it. But if you're worried about it tearing, you can fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. Put it on the tray, and then unfold it, and you have the dough on the tray. Now there are two important things. One is never ever push down on the dough because it'll get into the holes of the tray. And the second thing is you want to make sure that the dough doesn't lop over the side of the tray. So here we have the dough just as we want it on the tray. Then we go to put stuff on it. The first thing to put on the dough is the sauce. Now, one mistake that people make is putting too much sauce on the pizza. So start with about a large tablespoon. That's all you really need. You don't want a whole lot of sauce, because if you put too much sauce on it, the whole pizza gets too wet and it'll fall apart. So you'll see we need a little bit more, so I'll add just about a tablespoon more onto the pizza. That's really all you need. In fact, that's plenty. Secondly, we might want to put some cheese on it. And again, we don't put too much cheese, because if there's too much cheese, then the pizza gets soggy and it just gets to be a big mess. So just start with a little bit of cheese. And if we want more, we can put more cheese. People sometimes do stuff the crust with cheese and things like that, and that's kind of fun to do, but you don't have to do that. Maybe a little more cheese, and there. Then there are the vegetables and meats and things you might want to put on, and you can basically do what you want. The one thing to remember is that vegetables and fruit have a lot of water, and we don't want water on our pizza. So one thing is, a lot of people like pineapple. If you like pineapple, don't put too much pineapple. That's about enough. That's about a dozen pieces. And if you want to put pineapple on your pizza, put about that much on. Again, if you put more than a dozen pieces on, like 20 or 30, which some people want to do sometimes, oh, why not? One more piece. If you do that, it'll be a big, icky, gooey mess. And then other things you might want on, whatever you want, just put it on. Don't pile too much stuff on it, because if you pile too much stuff on it, then it might get to be a runny mess. Okay, so I just have pineapple and mushrooms, and at the end here I might want to put a little extra cheese just to kind of seal it all together. And then when we get to the very end, we will be met by Kathy, who will smilingly take the pizza, and she may put something on it to mark it belonging to you, and then she will put it in the oven. And you will come back, and then you will come back in about 10 minutes, or we will come and find you in about 10 minutes, and your pizza will be ready. So that's how we make a pizza here in McCormick.